right now.
Okay.
I'm press record right now, and I'm just gonna start asking questions right quick before I even just jump in. What made you decide to
It's
put the
recording now.
sign language? Yeah, like what? Where did that idea come from? What is this?
So I work with children. So I work with a daycare on a military installation, and with pre-tots, they don't use their words, so we have to say certain words to them in sign language, like milk, more, please. So to kind of help them communicate with us what they want.
Mm.
So when I was thinking of that, I was like, oh, I could put that in my book so parents can read with their pre-toddlers and stuff like that. So that's kind of what made me add it to the book.
That is brilliant. So you had that in mind while
Mm-hmm.
creating the book. That
Mm-hmm.
that is just amazing. Like, okay, all right, guys, we just not hopping in. I just had to press record. Let me go back and introduce our guest here. First off, this is your boy Trey with Let's Just Talk Books. This is the first interview that I'm doing right here. This right here is a very significant interview because this branch, Let's Just Talk Books, it was a branch that I kind of started posting on Instagram a little bit when when COVID, the pandemic took off, but I stopped and I focused on Let's Just Talk Fitness. But this person, this guest I have here today, she has in a sense reignited my my desire, my passion for books, my passions for artists like herself who step out of their comfort zone and create books and things of that nature. You know, again, I'm a reader, but I also have and Shaday, I'm not sure if you even knew, but I have two books on Amazon that I actually posted poetry books because I write poetry, but I posted these books at the beginning.
Nice. I'm gonna have to check those out.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're gonna
that's
have
pretty
to. You're gonna
cool.
have to. You're gonna have to. Yeah, I actually got a alias name. T Livre is the name. Is my alias name. But yeah. I had two books that I created too during the pandemic. And again, it's people
Okay.
like you that inspire me to post and to want to showcase the skill level that comes with creating a novel. When you creating books, that isn't just a small thing. Like, please know you ain't just do no small thing. And y'all, when y'all see this book, you know, I'm sure you're gonna want to buy it. But when y'all see this book and see how the time and you hear the story behind it, you gonna understand that she has not done a small thing. This is a huge thing that she has done, and she's created something. And I think she's starting something that will, in some sense, maybe change the landscape of how books and people create books are even thought of. Like seriously. Um, but let me backtrack again. I don't want to go too deep. I want her to share it and not me. But I'm like itching to get your stuff out there. But I want her to share her book, not me. But again, before we start, make sure you like, share, subscribe to the page. Again, I'm going to create a TikTok, an Instagram, all of that, YouTube to go with this. But make sure that you like, follow, share, subscribe. Show love also to our guest. As well as you get to know her, she'll tell all of her social media at the end of the interview. And also, again, leave comments below. Let her know how much you appreciated this interview. You appreciate her work after you buy it and experience it for yourself. Let her know, hit her up and let her know as well. But I don't want to waste any more time. Let's introduce our guest. We have with us here today, Shaday Void. How you doing?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
You already know, like I am just hyped by this interview. I thank you. I know it's a little late. You know, we're doing it a little
Yeah,
later.
I know. I
But we got it
know.
in. But we got it in.
But the hustle never stops for entrepreneurs and business owners. It is no time to when you have dreams and goals. So there's no time limit. Yeah.
Mm, You saying it. You saying, I mean, it's a 24/7. Like a lot of times when people
Hmm.
when people think of entrepreneurship, they think it's all cool and stuff like that, but they don't understand the pressure behind it. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. But when you're doing your passion, you can't the hardness doesn't even feel hard because it just feels like you're having fun. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So
You lose track of time
you
basically
lose track of
because you're like,
time.
oh, it's 4 in the morning. I need to get ready for my actual 9 to 5.
Um
So yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, you're right, and I'm so glad I can share that with you, and that you know that sense of hustle and grind. But let's go ahead and get it right on into it.
Mhm.
Before I show him your book, I was just about to do it, but before I show it to him, I want to start from the top. Where are you from, And where did you grow up? Where's Shaday Void from?
Well, I was born in Brooklyn, New York. That's what it says on my birth certificate. So I lived up there for quite a bit, and then my adopted mom took me and my brother down south for a little bit. So yeah.
So you were adopted.
Mhm.
Let's go into that a little bit. So you were born and raised, or you were born, and were you raised in the Bronx? I'm just trying to
Yeah,
get the.
I lived. Yeah, I lived up north for a bit, for some time, and then my mom took us down south. I don't remember the exact time frame. I know it's probably like maybe 93, 96 time frame.
Mm, mm,
But I know I was still young because she passed away 2021. So I was a teenager at that time. I was 12.
mhm,
So we were down south. Yeah.
mm, mm.
I think she probably moved us down there for like a slower pace type of life. For us to kind of get to basically be kids and
Yep.
get from the city. So I think that's the main reason why she took us to South Carolina. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And you were adopted at what age again?
I'm around 3, 4 years old.
3, 4 years old. Okay, so pretty much
Hmm.
infantry. You were pretty much,
Hmm.
yeah, adopted. Okay,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And again, you went down south. Where did you live down south? It was
South Carolina.
South Carolina. South Carolina. Okay,
Santee, South Carolina.
in South Carolina. Okay, okay.
Hmm.
Did you not tell me Louisiana at some point, or was
No,
that
I
you
live in Louisiana currently now.
currently
Yeah.
now? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, yeah. I was like, where'd that come
Yeah.
from? Okay.
I currently live here now. Yeah.
Okay,
Hmm.
gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, and your occupation, what do you do now? Are
Well, my
mhm,
first job, I work with children. So I work with CYS is basically a military organization for parents that serve in the military. So
mhm,
I'm a caregiver, basically. People look at it as a babysitter in a sense, but I feel like we're like their second mom or dad because we're with them like almost 12 hours a day, you know. So
mhm,
we're with them from 6 in the morning to 6 p.m. So working with military kids, I feel like it's fun for me. Um, the age group is a very good development, infants and preteens, because you see them develop and you
mhm.
see them grow. And then my second job, I just kind of do like housekeeping at the hospital. I think cleaning is therapeutic. And
Yeah.
it's also a sense of giving back because a hospital will not run without housekeepers.
Mm,
Because if they don't have housekeepers, the hospitals will shut down because of it's not clean or it's not sanitized. So they need housekeepers to run the hospital.
I love it. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. That is amazing work. Again, you already, as we know, and as we're going to get into it even more, you're an author. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
create books, but you also have two other jobs, like 9 to 5 jobs that you do, where you, in a sense, you know, are not on your own schedule, but yet you balance that with writing and things of that nature.
Yeah, and then my wig line. So I have a wig line as well.
Mm,
Um, Hair has always been my passion ever since
yeah.
I was young. So I do have a wig line. I kind of put
Mm,
that on hold right now because I want to at least try to get some more book projects published by next year. I'm thinking about maybe 3 kids books by next year. So
nice.
they're in the works. So that's kind of I've been focusing on getting my stuff published. So
Mm.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. How is that balance? Before we move on to the next question, how is that balance when it comes to trying to pursue your entrepreneurial passions, you know, the wig line or the writing the books, and then balancing that with, you know, the 9 to 5s that you do have, 2 jobs that you do have. How do you balance that?
Well, I know there's times where God says, "Oh, you got to rest and you got to rest your body." Because I felt that kind of this weekend. I
Mm,
kind of slept for like a day and a half because
golly.
of so much on my plate. But I do go into prayer and say, "Hey, God, remove what you want me to not work so much on or focus on." So right now, my heart is leading, focusing on my books and getting those worked on, and then everything else will follow. Um,
Mm,
I'm not gonna work my 2 jobs forever. Unfortunately,
mm,
one day I'm gonna let one go, but right
mm,
now I have to inquire money to basically run my businesses and get things paid for and stuff like that. So it's not an easy thing. Um, I just have to prioritize certain things, and that's kind of how I work it out a bit, and that's kind of
mm.
why it flows with me. So I'm used to it, A normal person will be like, "Oh, girl, you got a lot going on. You got so much going on." But at the end of the day, I see the bigger picture at the tunnel. Like I'm not going to be doing these jobs forever because
Mm,
I see a different picture than everybody else. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. So you, in a sense, holding on to what it is that you do see, that bigger picture, that hope, that dream, that a lot
Hmm.
of people, like you said, the normal person would just be like, "What are you doing? Just give this stuff up already. Like, why are you still writing? Or why you?"
Yes.
Yeah. Like, and how long have you
Hmm.
been doing this? How long have you been balancing the 9 to 5 too with your businesses?
Um. Oh my God, I'll say for a minute now.
Hmm.
I don't even. I lost track of time because I've been jumping from job to job. But
Hmm.
um, I've been with the daycare. It's about to be almost 2 years. Housekeeping
Mm,
almost 2 years. So I did used to work at Lowe's and other companies, but
hmm.
now that I have the resources, I just started to put towards my dreams and goals and stuff
Mm,
like that. So yeah,
mm,
I invested myself. So like they said, scared money don't make no money. If you don't invest into your dreams and goals, if you don't believe in yourself, then who else is gonna believe in you? So I could tell somebody my vision all day, but if they don't see the picture I see, then it's pointless to talk to them. So you have to surround yourself around people that are business mind like you and goal oriented like you and driven like you. So I just whoever falls off, I don't care because what's the point of talking to them if they don't see that vision that I see?
mm, mm, mm. Man, you about to get me preaching. You about to get me preaching. I mean, nah, for real. You hitting, you
But
talk.
I'm being honest because they were like, oh, like Steve Harvey said, a successful person don't sleep 8 hours a day. A
Mm,
successful person don't sleep. Steve
mm,
Harvey didn't make his big break until he was 40. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
So when he was on the Steve Harvey show and the Kings of Comedy tour, that's when he got his big break. But at the end of the day, a successful person don't sleep 8 hours like a
Yeah,
normal person would sleep.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
They,
that's in any profession. Just like with an athlete, they do they
yeah.
train and they do that. A
Mm,
doctor, they constantly in college, they constantly in school, then they got to go. You know what I'm saying? A lawyer. So it's whatever profession or whatever dream you're into, you're gonna constantly go towards that dream.
mhm.
That's with anybody in any
Absolutely.
profession.
Yeah,
You're not just gonna stay at one level. So you wanna move up in the ranks. So
yeah,
that's kind of how I see it.
yeah. And I agree. I agree. At the end of the day, it's such a passion. It's such a calling to the point to where you can't help but go towards it to get closer, to grow more. You know what I'm saying? Like exactly what you're saying. Um, I love it and I relate to it. I feel it 110,000%. Um, love what you're saying. Let me ask you this, the big question. We know that you're an author, but what made you pick up the pen? What made you start writing?
I just feel like everybody has a story, everybody has a different walk of life. It's up to you to
Mm,
choose to put it down or not. Even if you speak it to someone or write it, it's still the same thing, it's still your story. I just feel like I'd rather tell my truth while I'm still breathing,
mm,
and set up a legacy for my future family. Even if I don't birth my own kids, if I do adopt a child and say, hey, I'm bringing you into a loving environment, you are stable, you don't have to worry
mm,
about being on food stamps or being in the projects, you don't have to worry about being homeless. I've secured you a safety net that you don't have to worry about where your next meal is going to come from the way how I did coming up. So that's kind of why I am so driven to tell my stories and get them out. Is I'd rather do it while I'm still kicking. Why
mm,
wait? You know, what's the point of waiting? Because the books will be here forever, as long as when I'm gone,
mm,
someone else will read it. It will, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it.
mm. So you look at writing as, in a sense, n- almost like a letter from the grave, kind of like even when you're gone, you'll still be speaking.
Hmm.
You're
Yeah,
still okay. Like your legacy is left through these books.
yeah, through the books. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Do you feel like do you feel like it was a moment where writing for you just kind of clicked and picked up to where like you caught the passion, or do you feel like it was always there? You just had to kind of figure it out.
It was always there. I just had to figure it out. I had to get led to that. Um, to be honest, I was in church. I
Mm,
think it was New Year's, and the vision came to me was to publish your children's book first, and then your autobiography comes after. So
mm,
these books, these kids' books that I'm doing, they're like snippets of my actual life. They're not fictional. They're actual stuff I either went through or talked
good.
about. But I
Mm,
put them into a positive light. And then when you actually get the novel, you read all the light, the
mm,
darkness, the sad, the angry, all feelings in one novel.
mm.
But these are just breadcrumbs to the actual autobiography, to be honest. So it's not just
Wow.
stopping at one, because there's people asking me, "Oh, is it going to be another one? Is it going to be?"
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I don't really I don't share much. I just kind of wait until when that second book is completed, that third one is completed, then I can kind of talk about it. But that's how I see it. That's how I got the vision. So yeah,
Mm, 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 mm. And as of now, how many books have you wrote? I know I have one, but is there any
I
others?
have I have three manuscripts that are done that I'm waiting to be
Mm,
published, and
right.
they're the kids ones.
Mm-hmm.
My autobiography, I'm still tweaking and still
Mm-hmm.
changing and still adding and still taking out. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
constant thing. Don't never let nobody tell you writing is easy, because it's a constant thing. It
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it takes 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, because you're still constantly adding, or you're changing, or you're changing the title, or something's gonna change. When you get that thought, that memory block opens up again, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
when I fell off the scooter,
Yeah.
so you're
Yeah.
still gonna like, oh. So, like with this book, Love Made a Family, from a foster kid to
Mm-hmm.
an adopted child, that came to mind because it was like, love did made a family. We were not blood related.
Mm-hmm.
But what I loved about my mother, she loved children
Mm-hmm.
and she cared for them. She didn't care about the situation or whatever. She just genuinely loved children, and she wanted to make a better situation out of something else. So that's how I see it. So when I was donating my books and sharing with the libraries here in Louisiana, this one director told me, because I wanted to get a tombstone for her grave, because I have not seen her gravesite since I was 12. That's 21 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Back then, and it's 21 years now. I was 12 then. I'm
Mm-hmm.
33 now. 21 years. Um, he said her memorial is on the back of the book. A tombstone stays in place,
Mm-hmm.
but her memorial, everyone all over the world would see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that kind of touched me a bit. And I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
that does make sense. I
Mm-hmm.
never thought of it until he pointed it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was like, a tombstone is just stationary,
Stationary.
but her memorial will travel,
To travel.
and people will see that this is an actual story, a real story. So yeah.
And that was a brilliant idea. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and hold up the book, but I want to go into it a bit more. For real, I gotta showcase this, y'all. This is what we're working with right here. Love Made a Family. Shaday Void. This right here, a beautiful book. And what she's talking about is the back here, which is a picture of her foster mom and her family,
Hmm.
which is absolutely gorgeous. When I opened up the package when you sent me this was it was this side facing up, and I had saw it,
Hmm.
and immediately what you just said just now made me remember that, and I was like, man, a memorial travels. She's going to be, her story will be shared across the world. This woman is gone, you know, but fortunately enough, you were left behind to then showcase and share her story through books. So she, in a sense, lives on through you, through your books. Her legacy
Hmm.
lives, and that right there, how I mean that is gorgeous. I get choked up talking about it because again, it is just such a beautiful story that you have allowed yourself to not only showcase but share with the world. You're writing and making a book or making books that is in a sense your own story, but it's also relating back to her who isn't here,
Hmm.
but also she is an example of what you said you're trying to do. The reason you're writing is to leave a legacy,
Hmm.
so it truly is a beautiful thing to just see where it is that you're going, what it is you write for. I think what it is you stand for. I knew you, we talked and things of that nature, but just interviewing you right now is revealing to me a lot more of just how much this means to you, just how much this,
Yeah.
yeah, this is you.
And I
You
got
ain't.
that vision like 2000, what were we, 2022,
Mm,
2021, I got that vision.
mm,
And I published that book July 25th of this year. It was published.
crazy.
And I got the vision. And I was like, oh, this is it. This is the book. This is what how I'm gonna do it. And it led on from there, you know. So
Mm, mm,
I'm super, super excited about it. I got wonderful feedbacks from people
mm,
about the book and things like that. And people from our church was like, yeah, we were foster parents, we adopted, you know, so it touches a lot of people, you know, even though the message is so short and sweet, I try not to go too in depth, but the positive message people took from it was like, oh, this is a wonderful thing, you know. So
mm,
that's what I was proud about, you know.
mm,
Yeah.
mm. I know a lot of people who want to do what you're doing right now, and they're like, man, I just don't know where to start. When I try to pick up a pen or something traumatic happened in my past where I just feel like I just lost myself. I lost my talent of writing. I lost my passion because of things that are going on, or I have writer's block. What advice would you give a person like that is talking to you and like, I want to write, but I just feel like I can't?
Sometimes, to be honest, it is hard to talk about yourself, like especially like I said with my autobiography, it is
Mm-hmm.
hard. But at the time when you're doing it, you will get that feeling like you would get up in the middle of the night and you get an idea, like say 2 in the morning. So I'll get up in the middle of the night and I'm like, oh, I need to write that down. So
Mm.
I'll immediately get my iPhone and I have the notes in my iPhone and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna add that or
Mm.
I'm gonna put that. So it's a time and place for everything because I never thought I would be doing this. I never thought like, oh, when I was 4, I'm gonna be an author. No, I didn't think that in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get those visions and snippets, it'll come to you. It'll come in the right moment. So that's how I see it.
Yeah.
When you get an idea of something or something comes to you and it's like a light bulb go off in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you
Mm-hmm.
know, just like when I came up with the title for it, it was just like a light bulb. Oh, this speaks to me because it's it's true. So yeah, it'll come to that person and whoever feels like they have writer's block or whatever, tell them just I would say don't think too hard into it.
Mm.
It's your story. No one can tell your story better than you can. You know, you lived it, you went through it, you went through those moments. Like I've been through a lot of traumatic stuff too,
Yep.
but at the
Mm.
same time, what's healing for me is talking about it, sharing
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
to I can I can save someone else
Yep.
that went through something. So I feel like yeah, go to therapy, get professional help. That's always the key.
Mm-hmm.
Two, it's okay to talk about it because it will help you heal and
Mm.
not hold it in because you can save that next person's life to talk about it.
That's
That's
exactly.
how I see it.
That's how I see it. That's how I see it. I mean, I'm sure you heard about the guy Twitch, from the past week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, and I think about him. I think about his whole situation, what he did to himself, and what led up to that. And I was talking yesterday to Giselle, who's in my Facebook group on Let's Just Talk Fitness, and we were just talking about that whole situation and talking about how a lot of people bottle up things that they probably should talk about, which could eventually
Mm-hmm.
lead to things like that. So, like you said, going back to talking about things, doing something like this, that's why I do these interviews. It's to showcase and let people know you can talk. Let's just talk. You can talk about these things and allow that conversation to be therapeutic, allow it to be a healing
Yeah,
process. Like you said,
yeah.
and writing
But
is a form of
people,
talking.
and it is, and what I can say today in today's world, people are a lot afraid to speak up about mental health or afraid to speak up about certain things because they will be frowned upon.
Yep.
I've been through some storms in my
Yep.
life where I'm not afraid to speak about it because at the end of the day, it made me who I am,
Mm-hmm.
and I can save someone's life. I can save
Mm-hmm.
anybody's life by speaking my truth. And that's kind of where I see it, because I could put a wig on and makeup all day and smile, but
Mm-hmm.
when I get behind these four walls, I'm dealing
Mm-hmm.
with life and no one sees it. I have no one to call, no one to vent to, and things like that. But at the end of the day, we don't know. And it's okay to reach out and say, "Hey, are you
Mm-hmm.
okay? You doing good today? I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad I hear your voice." That's okay. I don't have to call you and ask you about your whole entire life. I just
Mm-hmm.
want to see if you're okay. And that's what people they don't look into that. They be like, "Well, I'm busy. I got this going on. I don't have time." But it's okay. It's okay to reach out to someone because you
Mm-hmm.
never know when that person may need it. So, me
Mm-hmm.
speaking my truth and sharing these stories, it's nothing about an embarrassment. It's just it shows that I lived it too. I went through it too. So that's kind of how I see it. And it's okay to talk about it.
And it's okay to talk about it. I love that you continuously keep saying that. You continuously, showcase that. And like you said, even through your writings, you showcase that it's okay to talk about these things. It's okay to showcase your life because you're
Mhm.
helping pouring into someone else in the process. That right there
Mhm.
alone, Shaday, is like it. I think I admire you most in that way. I honestly I didn't really see that at first because again we talk a lot through DMs or things of that nature and hopped on
Mhm.
calls a few times, but when I really take into perspective what it is you're doing when you're creating these books, you're literally letting people into your life, into trauma. You mentioned trauma in this book. This is a kid book.
A little bit, yeah, a little
Yeah,
snippet, yeah.
snippets. You do. I'm like, man, she kind of went a little deep. I'm like, like you really actually
But
go deep.
to share in the book, even though I was being snippet, I was just basically saying what she left behind were great memories. And that's kind of what I was trying to share in that book. Like I was like, hey, foster friend, don't worry. Love make us a family, not blood. So I'm just giving snippets of saying, hey, even though we will lose someone that loved us and took care of us, what we take on with us, we would take on with us in our adulthood, childhood, whatever, we would take that on with us. And the little snippet stories is just me sharing the great parts
Mm,
of what I had
mm,
held on to.
mm, mm. Facts. I love it, man. This is again this book, what you've showcased in it. It almost as if it's as if you put your heart and soul in this thing, like literally.
Mm-hmm.
When I open up the pages from every single page, I kind of flipped through. I flipped through and I saw the artistic, creative design of it. I mean, y'all look at this, man. Look at this. Like I just got to show off a little bit. I know they got to go buy Shadays. I ain't gonna show too much. Look. Like, but seriously, like, go get this. Y'all go get this because this is a book that I think not only should be in every house, um, I think it should be in every foster home.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, because this would be a book I would want
Yeah.
to read if I was a foster child. If I was
Mm-hmm.
if I was in a foster home and I picked this book up, like I'm telling you, it would make my day. It would make it would make the rest of my stay.
Right.
This is incredible. Um, when it comes to you writing the books you're making, the other books that you have that are coming out, what keeps you going? Why do you keep writing? What keeps you going?
Um, like I said, I'd rather share them now while I still got breath in me.
Hmm.
Um, and then when I do have a future husband or I do start my future
Hmm.
family, they can see, you know, what I've worked hard to accomplish and stuff like that. But it's just to share and just give insight on there are good people still in the world.
Hmm.
Even though we live in a crazy world today where you do hear bad things about foster parents and adoptive
Hmm.
parents and stuff
Hmm.
like that. So the reason why I'm sharing this, like, because I remember the good she did for me or what she taught me. She, had me in the house. She taught me how to make food from scratch and stuff like that. So she showed me how to earn my allowance. We used to be in the bean field picking butter beans and peas. And I used to be like, hey, we're not in the 1930s. How are
Ah,
we doing that? But she was basically like, hey, this is how you're going to earn your allowance. So she did teach me the way how I am in my adulthood,
mhm.
how to wash clothes with my hands and if my washer and dryer breaks and stuff like that. So she did teach me great values,
Man,
so that's kind of what I held on to. So, and I took on with me in my adulthood, the things
mm,
she showed me as a kid. So yeah,
mm,
yeah.
that is absolutely incredible. This woman, I promise you, I wish I met her. After I met, I'm for real. After I read the book, I was like, man, I wish I met her. I wish I met who this person is, because it's almost like people like her are dwindling in this world today. Like it's becoming
Mm-hmm.
fewer and fewer people like that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, how many of you were there? It was you, your brother.
It's me and my brother, but he has a whole different family. But my mom got him when he was like a newborn, like straight out the hospital. And then she got me, I think, after. Yeah.
Was there any
But she
other
had many
kids?
of us. She had many of us, but I think one of my sisters went back.
Oh,
Her name was Marion. I think she went back with her actual family.
okay,
But me and my brother, she kept. And
okay,
then she changed our last names and stuff like that to hers. So yeah.
okay,
hmm
okay. So she only had two adopted children, overall.
Yeah, she
Okay,
adopted, like officially kept us. Yeah.
kept you. Okay, okay. And it was
hmm
just y'all. Was there any other children that she had adopted or had, like,
Yeah, I
by?
mentioned it in the book. I said she had many foster kids, but she, basically changed me and my brother's last name. So she basically kept us, and I guess the other kids went back. Yeah,
That is
from what I
amazing.
can remember. Yeah.
That
hmm
is amazing. That is amazing. Okay, okay. So she had the other kids went back to their actual families, but she kept
hmm
you and your brother.
hmm
But yet she still was taking other kids in, like just that whole idea that she had other.
From what I remember, yeah,
Yeah,
when I was younger, yeah, what I can remember, yeah, she
because
did.
I saw
Yeah.
that picture. I saw that picture with like a bunch of kids around you. I was like, I saw you and your brother, but there was other children.
That's why
Yeah,
I stated that she had many foster kids,
yeah.
but she kept. Yeah, that's why I stated that in the book. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Not for real. I just had
hmm
to point that out because she is just like it's almost like an angel. Like, if for real, it's like
hmm
she been sent from heaven, and it's like, who is this one?
hmm
Who is this?
And I
Like,
think, and I think that's probably why I have my calling with working with kids now, and I never thought of that until
mm,
now because
oh,
I work with kids now.
yeah,
So
you
yeah.
were kids. Yeah. Dang, you
hmm
do. I forgot about that. Hey, for real. No, think about that.
hmm
Like you do. Did you say you had your book
hmm
signings, or you were reading your book to them? That's what you told me.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
I have my kids. Yeah, my some kids at the daycare bought some books. Yeah.
This crazy. It's just it's a full circle. I love it.
Yeah.
When it comes to, let's say, uh your books, the books that you create, when it comes to any work that you're going to put out or that you already have put out with this book here, what do you want people to take from your work, the work that you do? What's the sole thing you want them to take from your work?
Well, with the kids' books, just the message that I'm putting out there, like, the positive side of everything is like, hey, there is hope. There is always hope at the end. You will always be cared for and loved. You are, even though we look different, we are the same, and stuff like that. Those are the type of messages I kind of want to share with
Mm,
the young ones and stuff like that. So I don't want to give you too much of the books that are coming out, but when
yeah.
they come out gradually, I can kind of share more. But
Mhm.
you know, so yeah.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely amazing, incredible. The legacy you're building, the brand you're building, the persona you have behind your books. I love. And again, guys, I'm learning more about her as I'm interviewing her. In terms of your content, in terms of where you are, your social media, your books, things of that nature, where can people find you? If they want to purchase this book here, where can they work? I just got to show it off. Where can they find it? Where can they find you on social media? Where can they follow you?
Okay, so
Yeah.
my book, Love Made a Family, is available on Amazon. If you do want a hard copy, you can find me on TikTok as Miss
Mm.
Shaday,
Hmm.
and you can also find me on Facebook, Shaday DIY, and you can direct message me if you want a hardback autograph copy.
Mm.
Yeah, so you could definitely reach me out on the social medias.
Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'll be posting everything below in the descriptions of the YouTube video. I'll be posting this on YouTube, and I'll have everything below in the descriptions in regards to where you can reach her, how you can reach her, and things of that nature. But
Mm-hmm.
again, Shaday, this right here, this interview again, it's so pivotal for real because I can already see what I'm gonna do with this content. I can already see how I'm gonna be posting this and advertising this interview. But I want to thank you from
You're welcome. I thank you too. Yeah.
the bottom of my heart in terms of you are allowing me and in a sense pushing me to step out into other branches of my brand. I was deep
Yeah.
into the fitness side of things, but I forgot about how much I loved books. I forgot about how much I loved
Mm-hmm.
writing. Like it's like, man, I have a passion for this just as much as fitness. So
Mm-hmm.
you doing this, you sending me this book again, guys. You sent me this and allowed me to, partake of something that you have poured your heart and soul into. It opened that up, opened that passion back up in me. So I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your passion. Um, and just thank you. Thank you so much
You're
for this.
welcome.
Guys, go follow her. Y'all heard everything that she had to say in regards to what she's doing, what she stands for, her content, everything, her links, information will all be below. I'll make sure that you have that so that you're able to go and contact her or even buy her book. Go buy her book. You know what I'm saying? Then when you and then when you buy it, post about it, share your thoughts on it. Again, I'm actually gonna make a separate post where I'm gonna talk about your book. But I seriously, this is amazing. It's
And
absolutely
it's gonna be many more to come. This is not the
mm,
end of
mm.
the kids' books. There's gonna be many more. Like I said, it's gonna be the breadcrumb to my actual autobiography. I'm super excited. So I can't. The second book is being worked on now, so I'm
Mm.
super excited. So yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Man, we're gonna end it there, guys. Again, Sade, don't hang up. I'm just gonna end the recording. But guys, thank you so much.
Okay.
You already know what to do. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, follow. And again, comment below. Follow Sade Void, buy her book, Amazon. And until next time, as you know, peace.